Cross-examination, or did Brian still cross the line? Welcome back to the channel. This is Unapologetically QI. And right now, we're diving into a legal moment that sparked outrage and discussion across YouTube and across the internet. I am talking about attorney Brian Steele. You know, the one from YSL case? With his cross-examination of the witness Maya. And you know, Maya is an alias. She didn't wish that her identity be disclosed. However, it is stated that Brian Steele and the defense, they doxed Mia. They actually put out her information, along with DJ Academics. And we know that DJ Academics work for the industry. He's probably paid by Diddy, like a lot of the media outlets. A lot of the media outlets, along with Revoke, TMZ, there's a lot of media outlets that are in bed with Diddy. So you wonder why they take the stance that they do, and that's because they're paid. They're bought and paid for. But Brian Steele, I feel that it was unnecessarily aggressive and even victimizing how Brian Steele cross-examined Mia. I mean, asking the same questions over again. Now, they just got upset when they asked about that, when the prosecution asked about the evidence and just asked who did it, who got rid of the evidence. However, Brian Steele went 10 steps deeper than that. Like, when you've been already traumatized, when you already been victimized, you can trigger people. And not only did Brian Steele trigger Mia and re-victimize Mia, he victimized any survivor or victim of abuse. And in my opinion, what he basically did was, you know, for people who might have been thinking about speaking out, for witnesses who are, you know, going to hit the stand later, he made, you know, he could have created doubt and made that situation seem uncomfortable. But because of Diddy's power and how he coerced, by how he bribed police officers, how he blackballs people out the industry, you know, because of, you know, his money and his power, you know, a lot of people, you know, took the longest to even speak out about it. That's why these things are now coming out after 10 years or a decade, even though we've been hearing about the stories forever. You know, we know that Diddy's a bad man and Diddy has done some bad things to people. And it's like, finally, you know, people have an opportunity to get justice. And for an attorney, like, to do what Brian Steele did to Mia was unjust. It was unjust. I mean, luckily the prosecution stepped up and they said, this has gone too far. Enough is enough. And they spoke with the judge and the judge started objecting. But a lot of the damage is done. And they told Brian Steele to take that back to Fulton County. Now, so we already know that the reason Brian Steele was brought on board, because he's a co-counsel, because he doesn't have a license in New York. He was brought on board because defense already knew that, you know, they couldn't win this case, right? And so they needed to cheat. And we know that Brian Steele basically, he cheats. He gets evidence thrown out. He crosses the line. He does a lot of drama in court. Now, in the situation of YSL, I mean, there were some people who, family members who may have witnessed that may have been traumatized because, they were finally trying to see, their loved one get justice. But in this situation, it's a lot of people who have been through situations as such, DV and SA, who want to see justice, who are tired of seeing, especially in the Black community, where victims get re-victimized and people don't believe them and people call them liars. And a lot of times they have to live with not only the trauma of what happened to them, because as a person who's gone through that myself, you never get rid of that. It can lighten up a little. You learn coping skills, but you never get rid of that. But to turn around and have that happen all over again. And yeah, you forget because you want to block that out. Like, who wants to remember bad things, traumatizing things? So after some years, after some time, you block it out. And then they were asking, why did you say nice things to him? Why were you nice? Because they're scared. And when you've been through trauma, you don't think correctly. It's what they say, fight or flight. It causes a lot of PTSD and emotional scars. And the defense is very desensitized and very misogynistic in their approach. It's almost as though Diddy himself is questioning her. So I just couldn't take it no more. I woke up and when I heard about it, I got triggered myself. I wasn't in court. And all I heard was people read what happened. People speak of what happened, and I got triggered. And I know if I got triggered, the people in the courthouse got triggered. I know if I got triggered, that victim, Maya, was triggered. And then they're setting her up for harassment, because we know that Diddy has been sending people after people. What happened to Witness 3? They've been speaking out about it. And when is the justice system going to do something about it? When are they going to stop Diddy and his tactics? Diddy and the defense, they should be put under jail. They should be put under jail. Women do not, just because you're a woman, just because on one hand they're saying, oh, she slept with somebody to make it up. And then on the other hand, when you're just trying to come out here and just be successful, and men in power try to make you sleep with them just to be able to hold your job and your position, to be able to feed your children, to be able to take care of yourself. That's wrong. Everybody deserves to come out here and not be mistreated, to be able to be in a safe work environment. Diddy and Cassie were not in a relationship. If so, that was a one-way relationship where only Cassie was in it. But that was not Diddy's girlfriend. So this is not a situation of DV. It is exactly what they say, RICO and racketeering. And they've already proven the case. We got coercion, we got fraud, we have all of the check marks checked off. And defense know that they're losing. That's why they're already asking for a pardon. There would be no word of a pardon if they knew that Diddy was innocent. But they already know they lost that case. And they're desperately breaking laws themselves to try their best to try to sway the jury, which is not right. And it's unjust. Bad people should be locked up. I don't care how much money you have, mistreating people, and you're not doing anything for the community. I don't know why people are, oh, well, he's a black man. Well, this black man ain't doing anything but promoting alcohol, promoting the mistreatment of women, promoting mistreatment of children, promoting negativity onto our community. So this man does not deserve to be defended. It's not like he's unhelped. He's a shame to our community. In fact, he's making good people look bad. No wonder they look at us in certain ways. It's because of people like him. Makes it appear like that we can't be decent people. Makes it appear like we're violent. Like we have no regard for children. Like we have no regard for women. Like we have no regard for other people's lives. And the mere fact that people around here making excuses and defending a monster like that makes me drop my head in shame. The mere fact that you have misogynists like Brian Steele and that whole entire defense team, Mark and the women, it is shameful. I get it. They're doing their job to the best of their ability, but they sold out for money. And they're definitely not making society better. Our job as humans is to make society better. What happens is society is us, our fault, and how we react. So I had to speak out. Because enough of silencing victims. Victims should not have to go to their graves in shame for something that's not their fault, that they didn't do, something that happened to them, something that in this day and time, it can be avoided if we start speaking out and putting people in their proper place, which is jail or under the jail. Because no one has a right to harm anybody else, ruin their lives, traumatize them for the rest of their lives, give them PTSD, limit their potential, limit their strive for happiness. So I say today, y'all start speaking out and stop re-victimizing victims. She deserved to be heard. Now you can cross-examine someone without badgering them and without re-victimizing. That's so insensitive. What if her standing trial, her standing court makes her do something to herself? And y'all, like, if any of y'all are in trouble, please go back to my thumbnail. If any of y'all have gotten triggered, and this is one thing that people are not doing during this trial, they're not giving you the 800 numbers, but there's help out there. Don't suffer alone. Call someone, please. There's a number for victims of SA, and it's on my thumbnail. There's a number for, any mental health crisis, or if you're just not feeling like going on anymore, there's a number. There's a number. Someone understands you're not alone. Please call someone. Everyone is not as insensitive as these people, and we're going to have to start fighting and standing up for people. And stop just like they said in this Diddy case, all these people saw all this stuff happening and no one spoke out. That's what we've been doing the whole time. That's why things are as bad as they are today. Because no one speaks out. People are not stepping up. And then when they do, we got a host of bullies going after them. But enough is enough. It's time out. We're not giving the next generation a chance, because before they can grow up and decide what they want to even do with their life, they're already traumatized. They've already seen a lot of bad things. So I'm going to leave on that note. Yeah, please don't allow people to re-victimize. You could, or please don't allow people speak out. This is not right. They did it to Cassie. Everybody that hits that stand, and it's defense. And then in this case, where this is a nationwide thing, or when you do these types of things on YouTube and places like that, there's a large group of people with no sense, like followers, cult-minded people who bully and run after people. A lot of these people do it because they themselves are aggressors. They are guilty of the same things. And they don't want to start seeing justice because that means that they have to stop. Or they have to live with their shame. Or they have to realize that what they've done is bad. So my thing is, like, we need to start speaking out. And I appreciate everybody who came to hear my voice, who supports me. Go ahead and like this video, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And by all means, if this has triggered you beyond, because it did a pretty good job. I had to do a lot of work on myself today. And I wasn't even in that courthouse. I wasn't even the victim. Y'all got to start having some compassion for others. Just like Diddy is not guilty until proven, those people are not liars until proven. Give them a chance. All the money in the world ain't worth it. Ain't worth that. Yeah, 1% out of 100 end up being liars, but the rest end up telling the truth. And either way it goes, people still don't believe. People still bash the victims. People still re-traumatize the victims, and we have to stop. But until next time, this is Unapologetically QI. I am signing off and exiting the building. And thank all who came. I'm out. Peace.